What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Not Wait. I'm your host, as always, Joseph Coiza, and today's episode of Investment Gym, we're going to be getting right into it. Again, I have on our list, we're doing kind of overrated, underrated type thing, and we're talking about a variety of things. Before, it was mainly health topic, and now it's going to be both financial and health, because it's, the whole fucking point of the channel. So, we're going to get right into it with protein bars. Oh, no. Oh. Why do I do this to myself? Maxed out. I don't think I had maybe one protein bar I've ever liked in my life. Usually if you get one that's like vanilla taste, or birthday cake, or something vanilla tasting, vanilla based, it's just gonna be fucking horrible. Chocolate is usually a little better, but chocolate, peanut butter, protein bars, in my experience, I've tried probably 4 or 5 different brands. I tried probably about 7 or 8 different bars in total. And I was very unhappy with all of them. Protein snacks, that's a different story. Check that video out if you haven't. Protein bars, however, those are usually just horrible. They're also kind of expensive. They're like fucking $3-4 a bar. Next up is going to be resistance bands. That's going to be these bad boys right here. Originally, I kind of underutilized them. Now I'm realizing that they're actually very useful to kind of give you a demonstration. You kind of have these, or you can have a strap that connects to your feet, strap that connects to the door. There's an option where it has like a little kind of foam bit, and you put it into your doorway, close your door, it gets stuck in the doorway, so as long as nobody opens the door, ideally, you should lock it, if it's something like that from the inside. And then, not so that way you can't get into your door, but if you are in the inside, and lock it, as I would imagine you'd assume. And then you could use it and wrap it around here. It has like a little Velcro bit, and then you could use it as like a chest exercise. You could pull it from here. It would be something kind of like this. Again, something kind of like this, not quite. So you'd have that, or you'd have these little straps here. I kind of then just kind of wrap it around my foot and do it the same way, instead of the doorway. So I kind of put it here, and then you can work out with it and stretch or whatever you like. There's different kinds of exercises that you could do. There's a lot of options with it. You could do pretty much a full body workout with it. And you'll see here, they have, I don't know if you can see it on camera, they have things like 10 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, assortment, and they're also color coded. You can combine these together like I've done to get a maximum amount of weight, or you can just use them as their own, and it's the amount of resistance you're gonna get. So you need 10 pounds to pull this and use this. You need, what is this one? This one, the black one is probably on this side. Black one is 50 pounds, so you need 50 pounds. You also notice it's a very thicker band. I got these off Amazon for I think it was like 20 bucks shipped. I enjoy them a lot. Again, I underutilized them. I was like, what the fuck do I have these? I'm not even, a huge fan of these. I'm not gonna keep them. And then after a while, so I have them, let me actually use them and really learn how to get into it. And they actually became now a full part of my workout, and a good change of pace too, instead of just lifting heavy weights. You get to bend, move, twist in different ways, and it makes working out more fun, varies your exercise, helps you work on different muscle groups, and just overall is a better experience, especially for the cost. And I've had these for, I'd say probably maybe a year now, close to, and they still last, so they're doing pretty good. Next up is going to be a financial one. It's going to be dividends. Dividends in general are good. However, I want to address it and talk to people. Dividends are they're money that, instead of being reinvested back into a business, people just think, oh, it's just money, and they just hand it to you. There is a negative side to dividends, and a lot of reasons why companies, when they're going either under or they're financially in trouble, like we've seen during the pandemic, a lot of companies suspended their dividends, is because then they can reinvest that money into the company itself. Amazon does that, Berkshire Hathaway does that. They don't pay any form of dividend. They just take that money, instead of distributing it to investors, they just put it back into the business to help grow the business and then help grow the stock price. Essentially, the dividend is, they're giving you a very small percentage of the stock just in cash. That's essentially how it is from earnings. Explain it, that's the kind of dumbed down, easy version of it. But it's essentially the earnings that they're making, instead of putting it back in the business and growing the business and then therefore the stock price, usually. The stock market's a very fickle thing. And then just paying you part of it and then saying, okay, cool, we have, how many investors we're giving everybody, $2 a pop. We're giving everybody 1.9%, whatever it is. So overall dividends are pretty good. However, they do subtract from the company's just stock growth overall. And usually when they give a dividend, the stock price drops that price of the dividend. That has historically been what I've seen. And through my research, that's also what I found. But overall, dividends are very good things. You get some money, you can, help pay for expenses, especially if you're a higher net worth individual. You have $10 million of stock or something, I'm just throwing a number out there. And then you get paid, 2% of that, 3% of that. Some places do 6% of that, as say like a real estate, a REIT. It's essentially like an ETF, but real estate. They are required to pay out a certain amount of money to you. So instead of saying, 1% or 0.001% or whatever the fuck they're gonna give you, they have to give you like legally standard like 6 or something along those lines. So something along that. That's also a good thing to look into and check out for your portfolio. Just get educated and learn and see something new. That is definitely a huge gain, financially especially. Next one is going to be flipping things, and not me like flipping like woo. Okay, it's going to be just flipping things on eBay, going to garage sales, getting free stuff, going to your Goodwill, your Marshalls, all those things. That is a huge gain. I know some people look at that negatively. As you know on the channel, it's some things that I've done. You have to be conscious with it. I mean, you're not taking food out of somebody's mouth. You're not doing something that's like a necessity to live. Nobody needs a collectible Spider-Man comic from 1985. I also don't think that's on most kids' wish lists right now. I mean, maybe on some adult kids' wish lists, but nobody needs that, Nobody's looking for the fucking rare toucan Beanie Baby for Christmas, and this 8-year-old's gonna be devastated if he doesn't get it. Very unlikely chance. You're not, something along those lines. That that's okay, and then you could flip it and make very good money. A lot of the time too, people will kind of quote that for you, like, oh hey, I want this for $1. They're like, no, it goes for $10 on eBay. They already know what it goes for. They just don't want to go through the work of selling it. Almost everybody that I've bought something from either just want the fuck out of their house, or they knew what it was worth and just didn't want to go through the hassle. There's people who are just like, yeah, we have these record collections probably worth like $70. And I bought it for significantly cheaper than that. It was like $20 I got it for. I was like, oh, like 15. And they're like, nah, I couldn't do that. Originally, I wasn't gonna buy it. And I was like, okay, cool. Everybody's right, entitled to sell it at their own price. If they feel it's fair, they say no, okay, cool, no hard feelings, we move on. But they said 20, and I was like, fuck it, yeah, I'll do 20. So they're like, oh yeah, it's like $70 on eBay, and they already checked. They just didn't want to go through the hassle of selling it on eBay. They're like, it's here, you're here now, you had $20 in your pocket, I want dinner. Get this thing the fuck out of here. So okay. So same thing with a lady. She sold for $1. I got like 9 Beanie Babies. She's just like, it's tired, it's hot, I'm sweating, I've been out here for 4 hours. I want to get the fuck back inside. Please just take the fucking Beanie Babies. And I was like, more than happy to do so. So flipping things on eBay, again, as long as you're conscious about it, and you're not stealing food out of somebody's mouth. That's the one moral conundrum that I have. But I don't have a moral conundrum with the things that I do. I'm very happy, and financially, it's a great way to do it. You would invest in what you know. If you know about toys, comics, or you're learning new things and you're spending a small amount to get that and get your foot in the door like I do with records and Beanie Babies and whatnot. But my primary knowledge is video games and comics and such. Like I sold some Nintendo controller for I bought it for $1 a piece. They didn't want any more. They're like, yeah, we didn't have the console, I don't give a fuck. And it goes for $40 online. So if you know what you're doing, and I knew that they were, at least $10-15 a piece, but they had the little add-ons and stuff that I got with it. So for $2, I made, 38. Stuff like that. You want to get something low cost, and that has a high value for it. Something like if you're flipping a PlayStation, you're spending a lot up front, and you're usually doubling your money, getting about $1,000. So it's a high amount you'll get. You're getting about $500 at this point with the market going on right now. You'll probably get about $500. I know some people and friends who've done that. I'm personally not going to put the $500 investment to go up first. I'd rather spend $50, $60 and then flip that into $500, make $450 through a garage sale. That's just the way I do it. That's the way I like it. You're going to talk to people, work on negotiation skills, find little rarities. There's some things like books. You'll get a thing of books for practically free. Some of them are for free. I've gotten books for free, and then one was worth like $300. You never know. So flipping is a good way to make money and do stuff. You just have to put in the work, do the research, and get educated on it. And it's a great way to make some money, especially, you know, with the holidays now, especially with the new year and everything. And just, I know Gary Vee talks about it a lot. That's kind of where I got the idea from, partly, to start doing it back when I did it at Goodwill. And that's, you know, a lot of people can make good money from it. You could, you know, subsidize an income, and you could do that while you work on your business or do whatever. Or that could be if, say, you want to pay some extra bills, or your job's not paying the most, and you go garage sailing on Saturdays, you make an extra $100, $200 a week. There you go, and you spent, you know, 6 hours of your time. You know, it might be worth it. So flipping, that is a huge gain. Again, HIIT Cardio, high intensity interval training cardio. There's something I talked about in the book. Cardio, when people think is they just run on the gym, going around the treadmill, that's not how it's going to work. You know, you can't just burn calories by running, and you can burn calories by running, but it's not a significant great thing. Like, yes, you're going to burn all these calories. Like I said in the one video about the piece of cake, it's going to be a significant amount of calories. Did you eat that piece of cake? And then to also burn that, you're going to have to run a significant amount. You have to run, you know, to an extreme, or you have to run for a long duration of time, both of which usually people don't do. Like, they run and they sprint, and they get into it, but they're not running to the level they need within a 20-30 minute time span of them doing that cardio. And then if it's just normal people running at the gym, I think it was something like, you know, 2 hours plus. Would have been, you know, 4 hours or something like that. I want to go super extreme, but you have to run quite a lot to burn off a single piece of cake, a couple hundred calories worth of cake. And then not to mention all the nutrients that you still absorb in your body, and, you know, the arteries that are getting now clogged. But high intensity interval training is essentially where you go something along the lines of, say, like boxing. You're really, really putting in the effort for as long as you can. And then you stop, you take your rest, and you kind of do the same exercise, but to a lower degree. So say you're running. Say you go full on sprint mode, and you do that for a minute. The next 5 to 10 minutes or so, you're like, okay, I'm back to ready to go mode. You're kind of jogging then, you know, and then when you're in ready to go mode, full sprint. You know, you do it for another 30 seconds, full sprint. Okay, I'm talking like harder than you've ever went before. Full limit, full sprint. And then you know, kind of do the idle exercise again for about 15, 20 minutes, let's just say. And then you do it again. You know, usually like 3, maybe 4 sets. Because you can't really be doing a whole lot of that, because you're pushing yourself to your very limit. You're running, like you're running, not just like full sprint in, yeah, everything's good, you know, I could probably do this for the next 10, 15 minutes. No, you're full sprint. You are full on going for it, like boxing. You know, this is the championship title. I'm going hard at it for a minute, however long I have to go. So you're really putting in that effort, almost to the point of like, you know, like an exhaustion, like, all right, okay, you know, obviously you don't want to hurt yourself, you want to do it safely, but doing that, and that interval, high intensity interval training, you're training, you know, the whole thing, is a great way to lose weight. And then, because then it doesn't just burn calories while you're doing it, it sets up your body, and you're burning calories after. You're not burning a huge amount comparably in a chunk like you would normal cardio. You say burn 100 calories in just the 30 minutes that you're running. You'll burn 10 calories, but you'll do it over the period of time. So you'll do, you know, 200 calories burned, but it'll be 10 calories burned for the next 10 minutes, 10 calories burned for the next 10 minutes. And you do that even after you stop working out, it will continue on. It's a slower burn, but you burn more. And that's also a little better for you than just doing, you know, one 30-minute thing. You're doing a full sprint, really pushing yourself, usually building up your endurance and your resistance. So HIIT Cardio, I talked about in the book, it's something I do. I think is really, really great, and that is a huge investment game. That is going to be really good. And then we're going to get to our last one. Our last one is something I'm not a fan of. It's another financial product. It's going to be CDs. CDs, certificate of deposits. Usually it's just you're putting in $5,000 to $10,000 along the lines. You put money into an account. That account grows at a specified rate, you know, 2.5% every year for 3 years. So, as you can kind of see, if you're doing the math compounding, you're like, that's not a lot of money. Yeah, it's really not, and you're just keeping up with inflation. And the catch is, you can't take the money out unless it's like a significant financial hardship or somebody dies or something along those lines. There's some caveats to it. But it's instead of certificates of deposits, people call them certificates of depreciation, because that's what it's doing, just kind of keeping up with inflation. You know, I mean, you could put it into a bond, and they're gonna give you, you know, 1% back on what you made, and then 2% annually for 30 years. This is you're making 2% annually for like 10 years. You can't take your money out, you can't sell it. You're not making any additional onto it, and it has to be a significant amount of money. So certificates of deposits, usually not great. I mean, if you diversify and you do stuff with different financial products, you know, maybe some people work that into their system. But I've never been a fan of it. There's other ways, and even for saving money, there's other ways if you self-regulate and have the willpower. There's other ways to help you save your money. So this one is going to be a mess. Hope you guys like this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you all next time in the Investment Gym. Peace.